we should hopefully have Dan on the line.
Yeah, hello?
Oh, there we go. Yes.
Wow, that works.
Yeah, and for people who've got good memories, better than mine, because I can't remember what I did last week, but weeks ago we did, months ago, possibly years ago, we did interview because you had a documentary called Still Ragged about the ragged-trousered philanthropist and its relevance today.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago, that, David, because I remember speaking to you just as we were sort of trying to spread the word of Still Ragged, and then possibly about 3 or 4 months after that interview is when sort of I got in touch with Dennis and ended up making this documentary with him, speaking to you about.
Yeah, and we should say that the Dennis that you're talking about is Dennis Skinner.
Oh,
who's,
yeah.
For people kind of wondering, who's Dennis? That's jumped a little bit. But Dennis Skinner then, kind of a traditional, in many ways, left-wing kind of socialist politician.
Oh, Dennis, yeah, he is. Well, you know, as I say, we interviewed him for Still Ragged, and it was a personal highlight for me because, you know, I got to meet a sort of hero. I don't really have many heroes in modern politics, but Dennis is one. Yeah, we got to meet him for Still Ragged, and yeah, I approached him to make a documentary about his, you know, his life and his personality and what have you, and he agreed. That was 2 years ago.
And then, so you've slowly, and what is the kind of film about? Is it interviewing just him, or have you got various different people kind of offering their opinions of Dennis Skinner? Yeah,
so for the last 2 years we've been interviewing him in a variety of different places, you know, in his constituency down in London, some of his favourite parks. And so that makes up the bulk of the documentary. We've got other little interviews scattered in with his 4 brothers, who, you know, 2 of which are quite political, and some of his constituents, and that's it for the film, because we wanted to keep it as sort of grounded and down to earth and honest, as to match Dennis's sort of principles, if you like. But
yeah,
we have done some sort of like mini promo clips to try and promote the documentary. So we interviewed Jeremy Corbyn about Dennis and Vicky Tomlinson, and stuff like that. So we'll then clips it online, sort of to try and plug the film, if you like.
Yeah. And just for people who aren't aware of kind of Dennis Skinner, what's his history as a politician then? How long's, because he has been, is he the longest serving kind of
No, I
MP?
think he's second now, the second longest serving MP in Parliament.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dennis is basically an ex-coal miner who basically went into, well, to cut it short, so he went into the politics as we know him in 1970, and has been there ever since. So what's that, 46 years and counting. If he stays this term till the end, well, it won't be, you know, it could be 50 years he'll have been in Parliament, but he's been there for 50 years, and I suppose he's unchanged from when he went in 1970. You know, he's still a firebrand, he's still passionate, he's still effectively a coal miner, and, you know, speaks his mind, and that's it.
Yeah, and did you speak to him about what his plans are? Because is he planning on kind of retiring whenever they call the next election? Or is he showing no signs of giving up just yet?
No, I don't think it's on the agenda really. I think he's, you know, that fire still burns in his belly. As you can see, you know, not too long ago when he was shouting at David Cameron, calling Dodgy Dave. And I still think that he feels the need to be there to carry on the fight for, you know, the working class and not let the Tories get away with it.
Yeah, and do you think sometimes when you watch kind of, you know, Question Time, whatever it is, there does seem to be sometimes where you feel like there needs to be people who are pulling the kind of Conservative Party up and kind of questioning them, and he can sometimes like cut to the quick. And is that kind of missing, do you think, in the opposition? Oh yeah, without a doubt. They're too polite, aren't they? So that, you know, that's sometimes the criticism of Jeremy Corbyn. He's too polite with the Tories, where, you know, sometimes he could go for the throat. But, you know, that doesn't exist with Dennis. So Dennis is a different man. For Jeremy Corbyn, you know, he's from a family of 9, and you know, he's brought up on politics, so he's different, and I think that's how he approaches it. So I think, you know, he's used to speaking in minds, you know, on street corners and stuff. So he's still quite feisty. And I personally, just as a working class lad, I get a kick sometimes from watching him on PMQs when he's shouting and just telling them how it is. That, you know, it's fist pumping stuff sometimes. Really. Yeah.
How do you feel about Dennis Skinner's relationship with the Labour Party, and especially the sort of over the last year or so, where you seem to have had this kind of this argument going on between MPs and the Labour Party, and it strikes me that a lot of MPs hark back to a time when when Tony Blair was elected as Prime Minister, and that a lot of people seem to sit on their hands just going, well, it might not be what we want, but, it's better than the Tories.
Yeah.
And now we seem to have sort of gone through a reverse of that almost.
Yeah, well, that's what's great about Dennis, because not only does he hold the Conservatives to account, but he also does the Labour Party and Labour MPs, and obviously you can see the split recently between the Parliamentary Labour Party and the members, and I think Dennis always has and always will be sort of represents what the members think of the Labour Party and how the Labour Party should be and act. So in some ways it's quite refreshing in this recent battle between the Parliamentary Labour Party and Corbyn to see that Dennis is there, and now he's got a leader who's more sort of in tune with his politics.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that it's a very poignant time for your documentary as well? Then
it is. Yeah, it's like there's great optimism around. The Labour Party conference was in our city, Liverpool, a few days ago. But there's an alternative festival called The World Transformed, which is run by Momentum. And it's fantastic. It's just full of young people, creative people, who coming up with engaging arguments, engaging alternatives, not just slagging off the current government. It's about proposing a sort of better world. And I don't know, there's something in the air at the moment. I don't know, it feels quite progressive and quite positive.
Yeah, and I guess one of the things you can say about kind of the whole kind of Corbyn kind of influence has been that there's definitely been a lot more people kind of joining the Labour Party, becoming members at whatever different level, and it does seem to have brought some new people back into the Labour Party. New people back in, or just new people into the Labour Party?
Yeah, it's bringing back the disengaged, and I think more importantly, it's engaging it's a new generation.
Yeah,
really, that's what's more important. Young people who are fed up of austerity.
Yeah.
And realise that you don't really have to take it. There are alternatives.
Yeah, and just saying, kind of linking that in about getting more people involved. One of the things you've come on the show to talk about is that although you're working on this film, you've now started a crowdfunding campaign. Do you want to tell people what crowdfunding is for those who don't know?
Yeah. Well, I only sort of got to the bottom of it myself recently. So crowdfunding is where you create a sort of a project online, and you need to raise a certain amount for this project.
Yeah.
And so you'd ask the public to give you donations, basically. But for every bit of money you give, there's rewards. So you can give a fiver. You can give anything between a fiver and £1,000. You can give more than that if you want, if you had it.
Yeah.
But the more you give, the better the rewards are, if you like. So you can give a tenner.
Yeah.
And your name will be on the film's credits.
Yeah.
You give 75 quid, you'll get a DVD and you'll get a signed photograph by Dennis Skinner.
Yeah.
And then the further you go up, you get exclusive clips, artwork, co-producers credits, that type of thing, really. So yeah, it's a matter of just getting loads of little different sort of bits of funding from the public who might happen to like Dennis Skinner or his type of politics, or not, or just be interested in seeing a documentary about the man.
Yeah, and I guess it's a different way of raising funds, isn't it, from the traditional filmmaking thing where you've got to go to one particular person and raise lots of funds. Do you see what I mean? This is very much kind of grassroots of people can pay them what they want and feel they're part of something bigger as well.
Well, that's it. If anyone gives £1 or if anyone gives us £10,000, the person who gives us the pound is equally as important, because we've been told the film's being made totally independently. No one's being paid on it. We've put our own money and raised a little bit to shoot it, and we've shot it all basically over 2 years. And now the money that we're trying to raise is only going to archive costs, because it's so extortionate from the big corporate archive houses, and vital post-production services festival fees, and we need to get some sound design done, a soundtrack. So the money we raise, it's only going back into the film and to get the film out there. No one's making any money off it or anything like that. It's all anything going towards. It's a passion project for us, and this is the only way we can see it getting out there. Yeah,
and I guess you've said that you've got lots of interviews, and because there's someone who doesn't really know about the filmmaking process. If you've got most of the interviews done, how long will it be before people actually be able to see the kind of finished product?
Yeah, so the film's done. It's just about getting the masters of all this expensive archive stuff and dropping it in.
Yeah.
So once it's done, we'll because we'll have made it all ourselves, we'll own the film, so we can approach distributors, broadcasters, and take it to all the festivals, because it'll be our piece of work and we own it. But I suppose the quickest way to see it is if you donate it to the Kickstarter campaign, because one of the rewards is you'll either get a link depends how much you'd offer. You'll either get a link to the film or a DVD to the film. So, you know, the film mightn't come out for another 9 months, 12 months, but if you donate to the Kickstarter, you'll get it sort of once it's done effectively, so you'll have a sort of the jump on everyone else.
Yeah, and like, if you want to go to the Kickstarter, you know, what's the web address for the campaign?
Well, the Kickstarter website's quite complicated, really, but the best thing to do would probably be to go to www.dennisskinnerfilm.co.uk, and there's a little donate button, and, you know, that'll take you to the Kickstarter.
Okay then, well thanks for that, and hopefully we can maybe we'll get you on when the film's actually kind of finished and out there, so we can remind people to go and see it, to kind of watch it online or whatever it is.
So yeah, that'd be fab, that'd be great. Thanks, David.
And one of the things that you asked for is, you mentioned a bit of music, and one of the artists you've got on is kind of Billy Bragg, who kind of will often pop up at demonstrations and protests here, there and everywhere. I think it was a very soggy kind of Alex Park kind of protest, when was it? A couple of weeks ago, and it was a downpour, but apparently it kept kind of plugging away in the audience. There was a few hundred people in the audience, but it kept kind of going. But you're hoping to get a track from him. In fact, have you got permission from him?
This track that you're going to play, I emailed him or his, you know, agents, and said, like, can we use it? You know, we're broke, we haven't got much money, and he got back saying it's all fine with me. But I didn't know, but this song, the chorus of this song is taken from an old man song from America, so it just needs to be cleared on that end.
Oh, I see, yeah. And
we should be able to use it, because it's really a important part of the film, the miners' strike. And this song for me is probably my favourite, and think the most. I think it's probably the best song to come out of the miners' strike.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to use it, and touch wood, it looks like we can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll close that, but just to remind people that if they want to find out more, the website is www.dennisskinnerfilm.co.uk. Okay, and thanks for that. And hopefully, like we said, once the film is out there, then we'll get you back to chat about it and remind people to watch it. All right. Cheers for that.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Thanks, fellas.
You're welcome. Cheers.
See you later for that.